Hi, I'm Matt Sargent with ABC Acres. We're out in our tree belt today. We've got some of our cattle checking out what's going on. We're taking hardwood cuttings. Happen to be taking them from Aronia today, one of our favorite superfoods on the farm. Check out our video, the last best superfood. Very potent plant, very useful in the property. It's all around a really cool plant to have as part of any sort of system you're using. But today we're focusing on hardwood cuttings, the whys, the hows, the pros and the cons. One of the big benefits to hardwood cuttings is you're doing it during the dormant season. So you got a little bit more time to do it. You don't have 1,000 other things going on. And as opposed to your softwood cuttings that you need to make sure have a misting system or a humidity dome around them. Since there are no leaves, you don't have to worry about things drying out while it roots. You don't have to worry about that humidity. In an arid place like Montana, that is a win. But even in a more humid area, it's going to be beneficial to you because it's one less thing to worry about. The biggest downfall to them is they take longer than softwood cuttings. Softwood cuttings you can generally plant out in a month or two. These are going to be till next fall before we can transplant them. But basically with a hardwood cutting, you're taking the first year's growth, and I will show you that, how to identify that. Hopefully you'll understand that. And then you'll remove the softwood, the part you would use for the softwood. Make sure you have a couple nodes above and below the soil. Boom. So when you're looking at your plant, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. So let's see, but I can find this branch here. That's going to be a little too short. All right. Yep, bear with me. This one's going to be perfect. It's what I thought at first. So this is all growth from this past growing season. But you can see about halfway up it goes from a gray to a red. The red with the Aronia is where your softwood cutting starts. Depending on the species, it might be more of a green, dull gray. Yeah, and that's where knowing individual plants is going to come in handy. But so we don't need this softwood part, so I'm going to cut right where it starts above a node. And with hardwood cuttings, you want the top at a 45-degree angle, so when it's in the ground, that's shedding water instead of soaking it up. And then in the bottom, you're going to have a flat cut about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch below a node. That way this will callus and give you an area to root. As I've been collecting these, putting them in a glass full of our rooting water, our rooting hormone, our willow rooting tea. Check out Rooted in Nature for more info on that. That'll just help them root. One quick note about dormancy before we go plant what I've got. Like I said, you do this during the dormant season, which means you want to wait till you've had a couple hard freezes and temperatures are in the 30s. We might be pushing that a little bit here in the Bitterroot. We have had a couple hard freezes. We have had consistent temps in the 30s. That said, we've also kind of had the proverbial Indian summer the last week, and it's been pretty warm. That said, I'll see you in the garden where we're planting these out. All right, so we're out in the garden. You can see I've already got some of these in the ground. This is basically pretty simple. You do want to make sure you use some sort of rooting hormone. We're using the willow water tea that we've already discussed. Check out Rooted in Nature. If you want to use a commercial pre-made, whatever, that's your choice. But basically you're taking your cuttings, making sure that you're, well, totally botched that one. Making sure you have a cut below the node, cut at the top, and it's time to sharpen these guys again. There's a good cut. But you want to make sure you get 2 nodes below the soil, so don't need branches where those are. Those are going to become roots, and you plant it out. This guy is perfect already to plant. We'll make sure these 3 nodes are all below the soil. Boom. And as far as spacing, getting kind of varied in here. You can go as close as 1 inch. You can probably even go closer. This is just a nursery. They're not going to be in here forever. Just a year. So, you know, maximize your space, maximize your plantings, It's a win-win-win, as I like to say. As always, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, we always love to hear what's going on at your farm, what you're up to, what you'd like to see more of, see less of. Yeah, until next time, happy growing.